Hey everybody, this is Dave Cooper and welcome to another episode of Product Spotlight. We are in Nampa, Idaho at Autovol, and yes, we are on the production floor and we're going to have a great time today. So listen, if you are joining us and you have questions, please put a Q in front of your question so we can find it quickly. And we're going to take all questions and all comments at the end of the show. So with that said, we are live on location at Autovol, and we're going to have some amazing guests join us today. We're going to walk the production floor line. We're going to show everything that there is to show that we can show on the production floor line. We're going to talk about how powerful and how important this is for workforce housing. And we're going to talk about how this is going to help us reduce the housing crisis that we have, because we have a shortage now when it comes to affordable housing. Oh no! Who is this? Curtis Fletcher. Glad to have you. How are you, Rick?
Thank you, Dave.
All right, listen, everybody. I was just telling everybody where we were because they can't believe it. They're all in shock. But we're at Autovol. So we have Rick Murdoch, who is the CEO and founder, Curtis Fletcher, CTO and founder of Autovol. Guys, thank you so much for having us out here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Pleasure to have you.
We're going to share Mike, Curtis, and I for a little bit here. But listen, we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Curtis, do you know why we go live on Twitch?
I do not know why we go live on Twitch.
Well, we love Twitch. We go live on Twitch because that's where the young people are. That's where they're doing their virtual reality and their own digital twins. They've been doing this a lot longer than we've been doing it, which is amazing.
Then we love Twitch too, right? We like those young people in our industry.
Yeah,
that's good.
And you guys have a lot of those here at the factory working, which is great. All right, so before we get into it, Rick, you were on the show a couple months ago, which was great. Curtis, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are? Give us your background. We want to know everything from the moment you were born to this very moment in time. Do not leave out any of the good stuff in the hospital, or Rick is going to call your mother. But you only have 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I won't go back that far, but I am an industry guy. I've been in the industry since the early 80s. Yeah, I'm old. And so back in 83, started in the RV industry, working with Fleetwood Enterprises back when, doing RVs, and then got into the manufactured housing business, and always in product development, product design, architect by trade, and came to know Rick, my partner here, back in about 2000, working with them on in one of his former companies, doing a big project in San Jose, and from there it's kind of history. We've been rolling together a long time and became partners about 5 years ago and started Prefab Logic and our consulting firm. And then we went into Autovol as Rick's vision to do this factory, and super proud of it.
Who literally just wakes up and says, you know what, I'm going to build a automated manufacturing facility for housing, 400,000 square feet in Idaho? Like, where does, I mean, how many cocktails did one have to just even say that? I mean, it's impressive.
Well, I guess I'm one of those that would do something like that. It all started with a simple event that was in Omaha, Nebraska. And it was an event about automation. And I really went there to see how does it fit us? What can we do with manufacturing for a lot of different reasons? Left there all jacked up, all excited, anxious to do it. Did some trips and saw some automation being done, and then came back to my friends and was asking, why isn't somebody in the United States doing something like this? My friends looked at me and said, what's wrong with you? And so I said, what is wrong with me? So we decided to kick this thing off, got our investor groups, a great group, very key to what our strategy and success is, and here we are today.
Yeah, for sure. So here we are, we're standing here. We're going to talk about how the lines are set up. We're going to talk about some of the automation that you have in place. We're going to talk about the collaboration that had to happen for this all to get to where it is right now today versus that rented conference room that I heard you started out in.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's really amazing about what we're doing here is the technology, Curtis. And, you know, kind of like myself, you know, I lose hair every day on technology and hoping the live feeds and everything go out. Why don't you walk through a little bit about what this technology is in the factory, maybe some of the hurdles and headaches, we can talk about that, but what's the reason behind why you're doing what you're doing?
you know, from a technology standpoint, I mean, this was a pretty heavy lift. It's never been done before. I think we've got about 60 robots out here on the production line, plus all the conveying. The real big lift really was the integration and the software platform that we're using to drive these systems and the data it takes to actually make that work. So Prefab Logic, our other company, was really instrumental in providing data and modeling that was provided to House of Robotics Design, or House of Design Robotics, apologize. They are the foundational element that actually brought all of the automation together. But that automation doesn't do any good without proper data. And that's really what this is all about, and then creating all the custom softwares to go behind that. So, like I say, a big heavy lift.
Yeah. What is a heavy lift? And I'm going to plug it. We had Doug Pill on from Prefab Logic a few months ago. You can watch some of what they were talking about in an earlier YouTube video, because there is a lot of people behind the scenes, what's going on here. And you're going to see that. We're going to stop and talk to some folks as well and really just have a great time with it. So where do we want to start off this tour, Rick?
I think the best place to start off the tour is back with our wall line. It's the one that we've done most advancements with in our automation and robotics. We'll be able to see how we're actually building walls and finishing walls with robots.
Yeah.
Right? And taking the heavy lifting off our Solutioneers and the ones that really have to do the backbreaking labor.
Sure. All right, well, listen, then let's walk over there, Tim. We're going to go over and do the wall lines. So let's switch our cameras to our mobile here. Let's walk around this way. I love the bikes. We were going to try and do this mobile on the bikes, but then we figured that would not be OSHA compliant and probably just wouldn't be safe. Otherwise, we'd have a good time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, probably not a great idea on the bikes.
Right. No, for sure. All right, so where we're walking now, we're going to come back around and do a full circle, everybody. But we're going to pass up where a lot of the House of Design Robotics is actually sitting and working, and we're going to show you some of the robotics moving back here. So let's go back all the way further back here. And hey, kudos to the camera guy. He has to walk backwards in 400,000 square feet. We're not going to be showing all 400,000 square feet. There is a lot of technology here. So we may end up with some interference. We may not on the wireless signal, but we're going to do what we can here. So to our left here, and Tim, if you want to show just a little bit as we're walking by, this is the team from the House of Design Robotics, right?
This is. So House of Design Robotics is stationed right here in front of this line. We're actually developing a lot of the technology, and it's really kind of improving the software and the machinery as we go here, kind of getting this to roll as smoothly as we possibly can to get the volume. This factory is really geared for doing 8 modules a day, and that takes a lot of work to get it there. Because right now we're not at that speed, so you'll see later on where we're talking about, you know, we're still manually building a few things, so we'll show that a little bit later on. But right now you can see these robots running, and really hand a lot to these guys at House of Robotics Design.
But that's the collaboration. We're not going to do this on our own. We're not going to solve the affordable housing crisis on our own. And we're definitely not going to bring young people into this industry unless we're doing things differently today.
Right.
And this is one step. And I know you were showing, you don't have to show again, but there's a lot of young people working here. And I absolutely love it. So we're going to go up on the platform, and we'll be able to show you a little bit about how the floor is laid out and the design's laid out. So the orange blazers, so that's House of Design Robotics. So everything means something different. Red means press for today.
Yes,
right. Yeah.
Exactly.
And black is kind of senior Solutioneers, if you will.
Yeah, senior Solutioneers.
And then,
We're going to get into that culture.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, let's do that. So let's walk up here. Curtis, I know we're going to go up here and show it. There's not enough room for all 3 of us. And Curtis, we'll grab you on the other side and keep going.
Thanks, Curtis.
All right. So let me put my mic on here so I don't have to hold it. All right, so where we're going now, we got to give the camera guy a little time to get up the steps, but we're going to go up the stairs here. Why don't you tell us what we're going to see once we get up here on the left-hand side, and we'll start there.
So once we get up here, what you're going to see on the left-hand side is our sub and sub-sub assemblies. And that's basically building all of our components for our main wall lines up with robots. So they'll produce those and then move those into the wall line itself and insert those.
Right.
That's these areas back here where we're
So let's
doing our
show
robots.
over here, Tim. So what we have is the robots. They're over on that far right corner, and they're actually putting together the wall assemblies, right? So the studs, they're nailing it. The
right.
plates.
So
Okay.
they're doing window openings, door openings, all types of different openings. But it's interesting that they're not only moving the lumber, but they're also fastening all the lumber.
Yeah.
And they do each one of those with precision.
Okay.
This area has worked out extremely well, and then they feed this into the main structure of the wall.
Got it. Got it. Now, as we're panning around here, you're seeing we got the sheetrock laid down. We're coming into a whole new robotics area on this right side that is lifting and moving the sheetrocks and screwing it into the boards. Yeah.
Exactly.
And gluing.
This is exactly what was important. And I'd hate to know that we tried to do this with without house design robotics or prefab logic. That data comes over. We're picking up off of our sheathing carts. We can see our wall line moving through. We can see our gluing machines. It'll start gluing all the surfaces of everything we do. And then our big platforms up here will be picking up our sheathing, dropping our sheathing into the glue while it's nice and wet. And then our nailers or screw guns, before what it is, will come in and make all that secure as it goes through this line.
Sure.
Once that's done, it'll go through the other end of that line, and then our routing robots will come out and they actually cut out all the openings necessary in all of our walls.
In all the walls.
Right.
I mean, the speed in which they're laying the sheetrock and putting the glue down and screwing, it's just not humanly possible to do that by hand.
No, it's not.
With the accuracy.
No, it's not. I mean, keep in mind that each function these robots are doing are taken away from an activity that's very difficult for people to do.
Yeah.
And it takes care of the heavy lifting and takes that off our Solutioneers' backs.
Sure. Love it. Love it. All right. So this is the wall assembly line. Talk to us as you're working your way down the steps here. Why don't we talk about how the lines are set up? Right now, there's two lines running from this side of the factory behind us, where we just showed, straight down, and they all converge at the other end of the factory, right?
That's correct. We're looking at the wall line now. As we go through, the wall and the floor and ceiling line are combined lines off of one line. So it'll build ceilings and floors off of this line over here. This line is set up, not operational yet. In the next few weeks, we'll be seeing it starting to really operate. We did all of the work with our wall line because really what we'll be doing is we'll be taking all this knowledge that we've gotten here and we'll be transferring it over there to build our ceilings and floors.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's walk up. Why don't we show? So this is all future lines getting ready to come on over here.
Future lines coming on. We can see we've already got part of the ceiling built.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going well. But this line will crank up in the next few weeks, and then we'll really be taking more heavy lifting off of our Solutioneers at Autoall.
I mean, and that's expanding the lifeline of the workers and the employees.
Exactly.
They're happier coming. They're happier going home, and everything they do. So.
And it attracts a younger person that's really not into all the physical movement that we have been in the past. And so they love the technology. They love to build. This gives them an opportunity to do that without all the heavy lifting.
Well, it's always 70 and sunny inside a manufacturing facility.
Absolutely. Right? We're in a controlled environment. It's a great place to train. It's a great place to work. We never get too cold. We never get too hot.
That's right. That's right. Well, let's walk back here. And if you want to pan to the right, you can show a little bit of the side of what's going on there. Sorry, the fencing may pixelate us a little bit as we walk by.
This is all of our sheathing lines here that the robots will be picking off of to feed the line.
Yeah.
The fencing that you see here is a barrier for safety. So if one of these doors are open, it shuts the entire area down just to make sure that everybody's safe.
Got it. So these doors, no human can go in there because the robot does not know the difference between a human and a piece of plywood or sheathing.
So they're all geared with a pause button, so it stops everything if we go in, or if someone just arbitrarily opens the door, it'll shut all the machines down to keep everyone safe.
Perfect, perfect. All right, so we're going to work our way back this way. Go around to this far side over here. As we walk down, there is some manual process still happening within the manufacturing facility.
We do have some manual processes. Our wall line's not totally up and completely run. It is probably 85–90%.
Yep.
So we're doing some physical work and building walls. But more importantly, as we go through here, you'll see that we're still building floors and ceilings manually.
Okay.
And that's where the real heavy lifting is, because all your components to build that with are much larger and much heavier. And so as these guys are working, they're getting the opportunity to look behind them and see all these robots here ready to take over and take that heavy lifting off of them.
Yeah, when we get down to the end of this fence over here, we'll stop and then we can kind of let people get a better view on the left and right of what's going on. This is the newer line getting ready to come on here, which is going to run product as well. So you really are starting to fill all 400,000 square. I'm going to say it again, 400,000 square feet. Let me tell you something. When you forget a power cord and you got to go to your car, thank goodness you got scooters, man.
That's true. That's why. Because it's a large surface to cover.
Right.
But
right.
no, it's 400,000 square feet, but it'll be full when we're done. We'll use every piece of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, Curtis, cheap headaches, right? Cheap headaches. That's what I said. So, what do we have going on here? Why don't you walk people through what's happening behind this cage and where we're going with some of this stuff? And let's talk about the thought process behind all of this automation. Like, where is the end value for this, right? Because you're in the beginning throes of this.
Right. So the end value obviously is just really affordable housing. That's our primary goal, right? Part of that is in the ability to produce quality housing faster, less labor. When I say less labor, it's less heavy lifting, right? And I'm sure Rick's already covered all this ground. But what we're seeing right here in the back of us is the wall sheathing line, right? So just picking up these sheets of OSB right here or this lumber is a heavy lift for anybody, right? And so having the robots actually do that work and then actually pre-drill that material for us in a precision way so that receptacles are in the right location, plumbing holes are in the right locations, all of that stuff causes much less rework on the end of the line over here, which you'll get to see in a little bit. But the floors and ceilings are actually framed down further down this way. And a lot of the technology that we've developed on the wall line is being used in this line. So all of the programming and those other elements that we're doing, that's getting installed here. Actually with some upgrades that we'll then put back onto the other side.
Right. Well, and it's a learning process as you're going through this. And we were talking earlier, this first stage was kind of the testing stage. What works, what doesn't work, what is the most efficient way to set up our lines to get the most productivity out of the floor, yeah?
You know, you're right, Dave. It's amazing how many changes we've made since we started this. Every time we do something, we'll look at a better way to do it, or we'll run into a hiccup. We'll either have to rework the software or rework the machinery to get the exact results we want. So it's been a ever-changing evolution just getting our wall line done.
Yeah.
But all the education we're getting from our wall line, we're very hopeful that when we switch it over to our ceiling and floor line, that those things will already be resolved and this will come on much quicker.
For sure.
Yeah, it's very similar in nature.
Yeah. Well, let's keep walking down here. If you guys have questions or comments, please put them in there. We'll get back to the computer where we can actually look at those questions and comments. If you do have a question, put a Q in front of it. We got a few hundred people tuning in today, which is awesome, and we appreciate everybody that wants to be here and learn. And we are live on location with NAHB and the student chapter. So we have universities across the country tuning into us today. How awesome is that?
It is awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a lot of these young folks into the industry. Old guys like us aren't going to last too long.
I'm glad you pointed his way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I noticed he knows.
I've got a couple,
Yeah.
a couple years left.
Well, no, we're fortunate enough that we're traveling with the National Association of Home Builders, the student chapter, and we're bringing all this into the universities across the country so they can see what you're doing. They know what kind of opportunities are out here, what is waiting for them when they enter the workforce. And this is the type of stuff that's waiting for them.
I'm really excited to see that because this is the way of the future. There's going to be so much work done through automation and robotics that's never been done in the past. And we need those young, bright minds to take a hold of it and grasp it and to move it forward.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, everybody. So if you're watching this, we are at Autovol, and we are almost fully automated. We have some new lines coming on, but this is a 400,000 square foot volumetric modular facility. And what we're going to get ready to show you now as we walk down here is some of the manual work that's happening with the floors. But that's all going to come to an end soon. So that's exciting to show.
It is exciting to show because you'll notice with the components that we use, all of it's heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And it's very stressful to be able to do that. And you'll see that as these guys are working.
Right.
But think about this. These guys here, they're doing this hard manual labor the way it's always been done. But they get to look behind them over their shoulder and see a rescue coming.
Yeah.
With robotics.
Yeah, I
and those that'll pick up those heavy liftings and do the job that they've been doing, so they can move elsewhere in the plant and do something that's much easier for humans.
Right. Yeah, and get training in trades or wherever it is they may want to be trained, right?
So that's it. I mean, this is the future. So maybe the robots should be painted orange like life vests.
That's true. That's true.
All right, let's keep walking down here and show some more of the manufacturing. So one of the things we're going to come up and we're going to walk all the way past because they're still working here. So let's go all the way to the end. We're going to hold up a second because they're getting ready to throw a board up. If you want to turn around, go ahead. Turn the camera around. This is what manual labor is, and this is what doesn't make sense anymore, right, Curtis?
That's correct. Yeah, these guys. I mean, you can't do this into your twilight years, right? I mean, you're only going to last so long lifting boards like that.
Right. Well, and that's it. So this floor line is right now. Let's keep walking forward here. Is manually done, but that's coming to an end, and I think that's really what's important as you're expanding and growing, because this isn't just something you just build it one time when you're the first doing it, right?
True. And you know, if you think about the manual labor in this, these guys do an excellent job.
Let's get out of their way. Let's go all the way
They do an
through
excellent
here. Watch your
job.
steps on those cords. These poor guys standing there with a LVL. I don't need a mate and Dave Cooper.
No.
So let's get by, and then I think Rick, we were talking about lifting some of these floor panels up, you and I, right?
Yeah. I mean, think about that. How would you like to be lifting this every day?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. Other than having a machine come over and pick it up and put it exactly in place where it needs to be and secure it.
That's it. I mean, listen, grab an end of this. This is how it's done now, right?
Yeah.
Most manufacturers, you might have some overhead lift cranes to help out, but that's how it's done. So let's get out of their way. I know I keep saying let's get out of their way, and I keep stopping. I know.
Go ahead.
Good. How you doing? Awesome. Sorry about that. All right. So where we're at right now is, I call it the snake pit. But Rick, this is one of your designs that you've improved on over time. Come on over this way so they can get the camera behind us.
Okay.
Why don't you tell us what's going on here?
Really, what we did is we
you can
designed
see a piece down there.
We designed the jigs and fixtures so we could build above and give our Solutioneers an opportunity for better ergonomics for themselves.
Yeah.
So they can work overhead, they can see what they're doing, they're not down on their hands and knees, they're not bent over every day, because your body's not really meant to take that. And so it does two things. It gives it a very ergonomic way to do the job. It helps you visualize it better, but it also creates a under workspace and an above workspace, so you can actually have several scopes of work going on in one area.
So they're working on underneath the floor and on the ceiling at the same time.
Yes. They're working underneath the floor, on top of the floor, under the ceiling, and on top of the ceiling, all at one time through this area.
All at one time. And then when the automation comes through, is this also going to be automated?
The only piece of this that's automated is these boxes or roofs and floors. They'll travel on rails, so we won't be pushing them and picking them and carrying them. That'll be automated. But the trades are very important to our industry, and there'll still be people doing the trades.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I don't foresee that being automated anytime soon either. I mean, that's something that's really a custom element. What we do is we try to plan for every hole, every location to get that precision that we can. But it's really up to the trade to actually place the elements where they belong, and to know where to wire, and to know where to actually make those connections.
So the plumber doesn't have to be a carpenter.
Correct.
Plumber can plumb and
Correct.
run their stuff where you need it to go and where he needs it to go.
Correct.
Clean, neat, and accurately.
That's right.
That's right. That's the value of it. All right, so here's the floor. I don't know. Can you see that top of that floor down there, just to show everybody? We're going to walk in here so you can see. They're working down at the end there. We're not going to go all the way through. I don't think our legs would make it through 400,000 square feet. But it looks like they're actually getting ready to hoist that up and move that once they're done.
They'll be hoisting that up and picking it up and set it down on the floor.
Right. All right, great. So let's walk over to the panel line where it's coming down, the wall panels. Now, so everybody understands, it may seem like we're a little jumpy as we're going here, but simultaneously, ceilings and walls and floors are all being built at the same time, coming straight down the line, and we'll be able to show more of that over there. So let's go this way. Tell us a little bit about the people that you're hiring here, right? With the technology, you made a comment that the technology is helping bring in fresh young minds, new ideas, and also the culture, right?
Yes.
So there's two things happening here. One, you have technology, and we'll let you guys get up the steps over there, but you'll also have a culture, and I think the two together is super powerful. Would you agree with that, Curtis?
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I mean, and I really credit Rick and Merrick on our team for actually creating this culture.
Yeah.
And I've never been in a organization that operates like Autovol does.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And the young minds that we're bringing into the industry, I mean, it's off the charts.
Yeah.
It really is off the charts. And just the fact that really these guys are operating on their own in terms of finding problems, solving problems, and being a part of the solution all the way through. Right. Solutioneers.
It is. Rick, you were telling me a story yesterday. We were sitting in your office talking about a person you just interviewed and how they have been waiting for months just for that opportunity. And you asked them why. And he said that they had some friends that worked here and how powerful, like what they were saying, the culture.
Yes.
I mean, you got game rooms, you got snack rooms. The people that work in the manufacturing facility aren't separated from you or anybody else. It's a team. Solutioneers the whole way through.
That's true. That's true. We have a very open environment.
Yeah.
We want our people to succeed, and we're all about removing roadblocks.
Right.
And so we want our people to think because they've got great minds, they've got great abilities. We want them to think and help us grow.
Yeah. All right. So they were just panning down below. So hold right there if you could, Tim. So what are we looking at on this end? Sorry, I mean, they're going to town over there, huh?
Yes, they are. On this end here is basically where all the walls and floors and ceilings come together. They're set down on the floor, and then we come in with our overhead cranes, and we're going to start setting buildings. This is what we call our shell process. We're building our shell.
All right, so we right where the camera's focused right now is a scissor table, yeah? So the walls are coming through here. They get picked up and then put in the transporters on the left.
They'll pick it up, move it over, and slide it into those rack areas there. Yep. And then we'll pull out of the racks with our overhead hoist and be able to set down on the floors and start procurement.
Perfect. All right, and then, hey, Tim, let's take a look at what we have going on this side as well. We're not going to show too much, but we're going to go down. We got the wall panels coming in this line.
Yes,
so
yes, that's true.
We're going to go down over here and showcase what we have going there. Curtis, what was your biggest challenge with the technology, the software?
Yeah, the software to drive all this machinery is super complex, and really, you know, the nature of software is such that if you go to fix something in the system, it's going to break 3 or 4 other things, and so it's this sort of frustrating evolution, if you will, to get everything right. And that's what takes so long. We actually have been working on this for quite some time now to get to this stage.
Sure. Wow, and that's it. I think that's with anything new, right? My grandma always said you can try something new, but no matter what you do, you're going to get an education. You can go to school,
right,
and you can pay for it. You're paying for it either way, or you can just try and do it. You're going to get your butt handed to you.
Yeah,
you're going to pay for it one way or the other, and that's part of what you guys are doing as well. So, what do we have here behind us? Let's walk over here, and this is where the wall panel. So at the end down there, I don't know if you can show that on the camera. Was where they were putting the sheetrock on, the glue, and doing the routing for all the electrical.
Correct.
And where we're at right now, these wall panel sections came off of that line. A scissor table flips them up, puts them in here. What are they working on now?
What they're working on here is MEPs, right? So already the robots have built the walls. They've cut out all the openings. So it comes into this area. If you'll notice the platforms, those platforms move up and down with our Solutioneers so that we're not working off ladders and carrying tools. And really what they're doing is they're installing all their boxes, they're installing their wiring, our insulation stored above so they can reach out, grab our insulation, insulate the walls, and from here they go to the line complete.
Got it. Got it. So the floors, you go up and down. I love it, right? Again, no up and down ladders. Adjust the floor, work on the next level of height.
Exactly.
Right. Perfect, perfect. All right, so the walls come out of here, all right, and then they transfer down. So maybe you can pan down at the corner over there, Tim, and that's where the volumetric starts happening now. We have the floors come down, the walls came down, the ceilings came down, and down in this far end is where they're putting it all together.
Right. So if you look down at that end, you've got a ceiling sitting down on the floor. Right next to it, you've got a floor with all the walls set. We'll pick that ceiling up, back set it on top of the module. Then we have our shell. And then from then on, it's finishes and trades and finishing out the units.
Right.
And that'll go all the way through the line. There's 40 some odd stations down the line in order to produce high volume, and they'll go out the other end complete.
Yeah. And that's where the vast majority of our labor is going to reside, here in this back line, right? All of the automation will actually just be a few people running all of the automation here, and that's really the point. Is we took all that lifting off of those people and really put those people back here where they can do jobs that take skill.
That's
right. That a robot's not going to do.
Well, that's it. The skilled labor. That's what we need, is the skilled labor in the industry. And what I'm seeing here is there is so much room for growth for a young person to come in here. I think your floor manager, we're gonna your plant manager, we're gonna interview.
Yeah, you'll be talking.
How old is it?
You'll be talking. Trevor is 27 years old.
Yeah. 27 years old and running the floor.
Running the floor and doing an excellent job. Part of it is this is an excellent training ground. Manufacturing is excellent because you can bring people in with little skill sets or no skill sets and be able to train them in a controlled environment through a teacher and through a mentor and let them become very skilled at what they do.
Yeah, I love it. Let's walk over here and talk about it, because you are training the future plumbers and electricians here. So when you say that, they can go through and you put them through school for their certifications and everything else, yes?
That's correct, because that knowledge of value, right? So not only get the practical work and the practical skill sets, but they also get the education that goes with it.
Right.
In a controlled environment. And it's easier to control the group here and help to teach them and mentor them in order to become great builders, because we're in one place in a good controlled environment.
Yeah, and we talk about it offline, but you have very little turnover. That says a lot. Solutioneers, they're not employees.
No.
They don't work for you. I don't hear any of those words here.
You don't.
It's a team, and people come up and hug you when you're walking through.
We are a team. We're all Solutioneers, including myself, including Curtis.
Yeah.
We're all here for affordable housing. We're really into that. We're wanting to make sure that we give opportunity to those that may not can afford a house.
Right.
But we're also looking for growth of people and advancement of people. And if we do the right training, if our doors are open, and we can really mentor and help people get their ideas. Most of the people out here on the floor know more about what they're doing than anyone else does, because they do it every day. And so some of the greatest ideas will go to a person that does it every day. He may be thinking, why have we been doing it this way? It's so much easier this way. We give them the opportunity to express that, tell us that, and show us, and we try it.
And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
And how about on the technology side, Curtis? Where there's the whole back office side of things that have to happen, and like we saw with the House of Design Robotics folks at the end down here, there's a lot of young minds that are putting this work together. How do you find young minds that understand house building robotics, or where did that start?
Well, there are a lot smarter people than I am. I'll tell you that. I mean, we've got some brilliant people that are writing code for us and doing the things they do. And House of Design's got some really brilliant people in their team. We're just getting started on the technology part. I mean, feeding the robotics is one thing, but we still have the rest of this factory to conquer with material flow and everything else that's going to happen. So those minds that are out there that want to get into this industry, it's a good time to get in.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna let's pan around this way so they can just see the back over here, and then we're gonna go back to the computer. If you have questions, please put it in the comments with a Q, and we'll get to that. But Tim, if you hold up right there, why don't we stand here? How many units are we putting through the manufacturer right now? This is a really big project, and the way I know it's a big project, if you saw our post last night, driving in here, I think it was like a 30-second drive of module after module after module sitting in the parking lot. And everyone goes, well, are they building anything? They're building a lot.
Yes, we are building. We've already finished our first project in San Jose. This is our second project for the company. It's called Santa Maria. It's 160 units and 105 modules. Yeah. And we're about 85-90% done with this project, and we'll move into our next one.
I love it. I love it. And you can see it happening behind us. So, and it goes all the way down, out the door. And I'll tell you another brilliant thing that you said, right, is why does everybody put their parking lot and their storage in the back? You put your modules right in the front, one, so everybody can see how busy you are, but two, why spend the extra quarter mile of gas to get it out of the factory? right?
Yes, it's everything about modular construction is about flow, right? You're shipping your units from the plant down the freeways.
Right.
So why not have them right there at the road so your transporters can come in, pick them up and leave. Right. And leave the plant for all the material supplies, all of our Solutioneers, and all of the parking for all of our clients and so forth.
Yeah. I love it. Listen, everybody, we are live on location at Autovol. Please hit that like and share button. And a shout out to NAHB student chapter and all of the universities that are tuning in today and joining this, because they are the future. They're going to be here, working on robots, running plant management, field services, plumbers, electrician. It takes everybody.
It does.
And it's an amazing place to be. Look at the size of this place. We should just start running around and see if we can keep up with the camera. All right, let's walk back over here. Take a look at what's happening on the screen. As we do that, Curtis, let's talk about the digital twin, DFMA, all the buzzwords we hear out there. From start to finish on one of these designs, where does the data start being collected to actually run through the robotic system here?
As soon as, in this case, as soon as Prefab Logic engages with the architect and with the developer to begin developing the digital twin, if you will.
Yeah.
And we happen to use Revit as a platform here. So as soon as they start developing that, we are collecting data.
Right.
So that data is actually collected at every stage of development, right? From the early stages, just to get some sort of rough order of magnitude pricing and so forth, integrating specs, making sure that we're driving the process all the way through, not only just from a manufacturing standpoint, but also from a developer standpoint. Are they going to get what they want, right? And can we add value to what they are expecting? Because they're still, everybody's going to be price conscious. You have a certain level of expectation for finish. The factories are quite capable of getting these things done where we've got excellent quality, but it is to spec, right? And so as we're collecting that data, we're actually also driving back into the project and into the development team and the architect what the best products to use in this process are, right? From tried and true experience, right?
Well, I think that's really it. I mean, the products from the suppliers and the vendors that you're using become very, very important. You're not just running, regular lumber through these systems. You have to run a lumber that's a lot more accurate. You called it what kind of lumber was it?
A struck one lumber.
Struck one. Yeah.
Really, it's the cleanest 2x that you can get. And it's critically important for us because the robots are very particular and very, the matter of fact about what they're going to use and use well.
Right.
And so we have to buy a top grade lumber in order to make that effective.
Sure. Jen, I know we probably have some questions. I see some laying here. We're going to put those up in just a second. Why Autovol? We're out there, we're looking at developers, we're looking at, there's a lot of builders looking to enter this side of the industry now because of the trade labor issues, because of the lack of skilled labor, because of the lack of interest in working in the field anymore. What's the value of Autovol when you're talking to a developer of a project like the size you're doing here, home builders?
Well, I think part of the value of Autovol is that one of our primary owners and investors as a company is a developer. And so he understands the modular world. He's been doing modular for quite some time. Frustrated with the way things were going with all site built, and so became a big investor in this company. And so like minds, right, he understands that. If you look at the team that we have here, it's an awesome team that's being educated every day. Everything's precision built with our robotics and automation. Timelines are met, budgets are met, and we're able to produce and deliver what we say we're going to produce and deliver on time.
Isn't that nice?
Every
banker
nice.
In the world should love that.
It is.
Yeah, right?
Modular is actually really key to also just locking in pricing, right? As you look at where the world is today with escalation and everything else, I mean, tightening up your timelines can really help you control your costs, right? And that's what modular does for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, offsite in general. I mean, if we just talk about that for a second, lumber's up 375%. Steel's up, right? It's all up. Gas and diesel's now up. So everything's working against us when it comes to keeping our pricing and our affordability lower. But this is where offsite manufacturing, volumetric manufacturing comes into play, because you can buy and train loads of bulk. You can negotiate better pricing. You have control of your numbers. And what I tell everybody is, man, imagine a world without change orders. It exists.
Yes.
It's here.
Yes. Yeah, once we start on the production of any project, there's no such thing as a change order. We're in, we've already tested it, we've trued it, we're building.
Right.
And we don't start until we get all the bugs worked out and then we mass produce.
Go to it.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to blow my screen up here so I can read. Jen, do we have some questions and comments here? So just put a list down for me. So on the wall assembly line, is Autovol installing rough plumbing, electrical insulation, and closing second side of drywall?
So we're not installing plumbing. Primarily, what we found, and this comes actually from our Solutioneers, right? Is that the challenges of actually putting that plumbing in the wall are greater than installing it back in the line. So we don't install plumbing on that in that particular area. What was the other? But the second side sheathing drywall, yes, we will be doing that. We aren't currently doing that, but we are set to do that. That's probably in a couple of months.
Right. Got it. All right, another question. Are you expecting competition from Amazon? Oh, I love this one. This is good.
Well, you feel that.
In several different forms, yes. But we don't see it as competition. Our workforce, we choose the people that we want to become part of our Solutioneer team, right? And so we're very precise about that as well. You go through a long interview process in order to join our company because we want people to fit the environment that we have and the culture that we have here. So we're very selective, and we want them to be selective about us. They should be just as selective about Autovol as we are about bringing them in because this is their career path. Yep. And so they should have it, and they should be very happy with what they're doing. Yep. So yes, we've got competitors everywhere looking for the workforce. We believe that we've come up with something that people love, that attract young people, and we believe we've got an environment that can not only bring them here, but keep them here long term.
You know, for sure. So the reason the Amazon thing to me is interesting, I was driving in this morning, and I know Amazon opened a huge distribution center up the road. And the first thing that came to my mind wasn't competition for employees and this, that. What came to mind is, wow, if Amazon put their distribution center here, then you guys really chose the right place to go because you decided first. So when you think about the logic behind where you're at to help meet the masses of affordability, you're really, I mean, to me, that's how I thought of it. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. And we chose the place on purpose. We love being in Nampa. We love the workforce that surrounds Nampa, and it's just a good fit for what we're trying to do here.
I love it. All right, so are you doing pods? I guess in bath pods is what they're asking. Are you looking to do bath pods or in the future?
At this time, we're not looking at pods because we're a volumetric builder, right? And so we're actually putting together our own bathrooms and kitchens and so forth. It's not something that I would ever rule out because as production grows and we need to produce more and more and more, it might be very beneficial to purchase pods and install them rather than completely build them.
Got it. So let's go to some more comments and questions. Do we have some more, Jen? I got to get closer. I can't. Michelle Murdoch. Oh, looking good, Dad. I love it. Awesome. Leslie Burton. Great work, Dad. Very exciting.
That's my rooting team.
There you go.
I've got 4 daughters, and they're all over me. Thank you, girls.
Henry Mickelberg, all the way from France. Kudos to you guys for letting us look under the hood / bonnet. Bonnet's an English term, eh?
All right.
Good to see you, Henry. Greg Ugaldi, very impressive. You guys know Greg Ugaldi?
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Greg Ugaldi, another shot, I got to give it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Immediate past chairman of the NAHB. So that is the guy that walks in and gets to update Congress and the president a few times a year and helps fight for, what we do in this industry. NAHB is a big sponsor for us being out here with the student chapter, and we're bringing the best education we can to the youth. And so thank you to the NAHB. Steve Schrader from Hundegger.
Hi there.
Talk. Where are you hiding, man? Hundegger is excited for you. And hey, there's some Hundegger equipment in here.
We just got our second Hundegger delivered 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Right. So we're Hundegger deep now.
Steve Schrader knows his stuff. So great. Eric Holt, University of Denver. What is the market distance served? How far is it cost effective for the units to be shipped?
Say up to 1,000 miles, 800.
Yeah, 800 miles is probably a good number for this market, right? And still be affordable. It's about 800-mile radius.
Yeah. It gets further and further every day, right?
Right,
because
it does.
The costs keep escalating.
Yeah. I have a question on that because I see it out west here more often. You don't see it in the Northeast. where you have the double-legged trucks going with two can you do that with modules out here?
No, you can't do a combined load, right? But what we're building is we're building apartment buildings that are all one module, right? That ends up being 2 units, but it's all built consecutively because one depends on the other for the structure.
Love it, love it. Okay. Chris Ghazi from YouTube in the house. Hello, watching from the UK and loving the show. We saw the HOD technicians. How many robotic technicians do you need now, and how many do you think you will need in the future? And I already know who this question's for.
Yeah. So I think we probably at some points had 30 plus robotic technicians out here between RSEs and so you had the machine guys and the software engineers, right? So between those two groups, there's probably 30, 35 people out here. In the future, probably anywhere from 4 to 6 folks doing that work for us.
Yeah. And it's growing. We were talking earlier, the House of Robotic Design, like it's booming for them, and they're adding new people all the time. So you're out there looking for some work. It's there.
House of Done Robotics should be booming. They're incredibly wicked smart about what they do. Very capable. They've got an awesome team that has fit so well with our Solutioneer team. It's been remarkable. I'd hate to know that I was even trying to do it without them because they are excellent at what they do.
I love it. Hey, young, great minds. Okay, Mark Sweeney, constant improvements. Love it. Thanks, Mark. Eddie X from YouTube. How long did the robotics and software development take?
We're not done.
Right.
So we're not done, and I don't think we'll be done for quite a while. It's a good couple of years in there. 2 to 3 years is what I would plan on for anything of this sort. Yeah. I mean, you might get a good head start, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah, for sure. Even this morning, I saw them all inside there looking at the robots, making adjustments. So it's constant trying to get that right timing coming down the line. And as you add new lines, you got to take that into account, right?
Exactly.
It's not that you're not running while you're doing this thing, right? It's that you're actually continually improving. Right.
Got it. Gilbert Meyer. What's happening, Gilbert? MMC3 out of Honduras. What is the repeat accuracy of the robots?
That's one of the things we love the most is the accuracy, and then be able to repeat the same thing over and over with the same integrity as the first one. Yeah. Right. So that's one of the main things we're after.
Yeah, super accurate. Accurate. It's really all about the data. If your model is correct, or if it's incorrect, the robots are going to do what the data tells it to do. Right.
Well, I mean, that's it. Look at IKEA putting out furniture. They put it in a box. It comes to you. They're a pain in the butt for sure, but they fit together.
But it works
the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Andrew Seeley. What's happening, Andrew? So glad to see this on location event. Exciting times. Andrew Seeley, love it. Kelly Heineman, love Autovol. They are more than an innovating company. They are a family. Love the positive atmosphere they create. All right. I want to hound on this one more time. Right? Solutioneers. Merrick's behind the scene, hanging out over there. John's back there from marketing. But everybody here is a team, and everything you do is about the team. It doesn't matter where I've been inside your facility here. There's positive things on the wall. There's, enter with a smile, leave with a smile. There's all kinds of things that you have put in place to make it really an enjoyable working environment.
Yeah, it would be my hope that all Solutioneers know how critically important they are to the success of the company, to their future, our future. So we really do work as a team, and we want the input, we want the sharing, and so far it's been the most pleasure I've had in the industry since I've been in it.
Absolutely, for sure. We've got a lot of folks here that have worked with Rick for 20, 25 years and more, and man,
that says a lot, right?
Thank goodness they're here, because they are between them and them teaching the younger folks.
Right.
It's massive.
Dave, I can walk out here every day and have total admiration for everyone I see on this floor. Yeah. And that's very unique, and it's wonderful to have.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. Don't even tell me that. We see it everywhere we walk. All right, next question or comment. Oh, sorry. Is that it, John? Christopher Gaze from YouTube. We saw the HUD. How many? We already did that question. Oh, how many technicians do you need now, and how many in the future? So we talked. Did we ask that one?
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Brad Semt. With the heavy upfront cost of robotics and software, where are you able to save costs to be profitable?
where are you able to save costs? It's really just the efficiency. And I would say the efficiency is not just the robotics. It is the setup of this plant and the people in this plant. It's a combined effort. It's not really just automation. Automation obviously takes off the heavy lifting, makes things more precise, keeps us from doing rework. And that's really a big savings. It's more than what people really say there is, but that's a huge piece of it. But it really is the organization of this factory, which, this guy with his, 37 years of experience has led the team to create, is what really makes this thing efficient.
Dave, one of the biggest differences, I believe it is in modular manufacturing and in construction alone, period. Engineering plays a key role. And I can tell you that from past experience in modular manufacturing plants and on sites, sometimes you start building without the entire engineering package being complete, right? And so you're building pieces, and then as it becomes complete, you got to make changes. Right. And when you make changes, you have to tear things up and you have to rebuild. Not only is it material and labor that you're wasting, but it's all those things that happen. In automation and robotics, your engineering has to be 100% done up front.
And accurate.
Yeah. And when you start that way, it's much easier to save time, hours, money, grief, and be able to build nonstop.
Right. Yeah, and we were talking yesterday a little bit about the lines running smoothly and having all the product, so you do not have to do anything outside. When your modules leave the factory floor, they leave. That's it.
Yes. We're complete.
Love it. All right. More questions, comments? Jim. Daniel Small. What's happening, Daniel? Merrick M. Do you have plans for any Lean Six Sigma continuous improvement training for your Solutioneers?
Yes.
Merrick.
I was instructed to say yes.
Come on. No.
Come on over, Merrick.
Another one of the partners. All right, come over here, Merrick. I need you close. So you want to answer that one? Go.
Yeah, the answer to that is absolutely, because that's what I commented online.
So yeah, working hard behind the scenes. So all right, well, we want to drag you in anyhow, because you're a big part of what's happening here. And what I've heard from a lot of people is, from a Solutioneer standpoint, in the culture, you are driving force from that. And I know just from our conversations yesterday, like, you fight for things, and I love it.
Oh yeah. My focus here is to have everybody be happy at the end of the day, show up happy at the beginning of their day, and give them an opportunity for great success for their life.
Absolutely. And I know we're standing here, but there's also, and we're going to do some interviews, but there's a lot of people working here, a lot of women working here, right? You're one of the leaders here that's driving what's going on in the manufacturing. And we're going to really showcase a lot of that too before we get out of here.
We have 29% female staff here at Autovol.
29% and growing.
And growing, yeah.
And growing. Awesome. Thanks, Merrick.
Great.
Thanks.
On the spot. She's back there going, no. We'll bring you in. All right, Mark Sweeney. Now I know why Merrick Montgomery calls it the Mecca of Modular.
Yeah.
I love it. Thanks, Mark. Very cool. When and where for the next Autovol plant. So let's talk about that. What is the future here? I mean, this isn't a one and done. The vision's much larger, yes?
Yeah, the vision is much larger than have one plant. One manufacturing plant, or even dozens, isn't enough to fill the need, right? And so obviously we want to advance the technology along with our people that we're collaborating with, and then we want to grow. And I believe that this type of automation robotics one day will be global. And so, yes, we're wanting to grow. Don't know where the second plant will be today, but I'm pretty confident there will be 1, 2, 3, and more.
Well, I bet Amazon will do what they did last time and follow you again.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. And I think the other side of that, too, is as you're growing this and building this, you're doing all the hard work right now. We had somebody, when we did the solar decathlon a couple weeks ago, and that's exactly, if I don't do it, who will?
Yes. That's true.
Right?
That's true.
All right, Bob Bender, beautiful facility. How transferable would your experience be to single-family residential?
That's an interesting question.
Very
We
interesting.
were just talking about that this morning.
Exactly.
It's actually highly transferable. There's no reason you couldn't do this in a single-family environment. We happen to be a multi-family environment here, but that's by choice. The machinery is really the same thing. So it just depends on the product and your business model as a whole.
Great. Thank you for that. John Magnan, what are your metrics for labor per mod versus a traditional factory?
I would say that what our goal is to reduce the man hours per module by at least 50% using automation and robotics.
Got it. Love it. Yeah. You agree?
I totally agree. Yeah. And
All right. Here we have Pontus Wickel. Great to see you, Rick and Curtis and Merrick.
Hey,
Go Autovol. You guys
Pontus. Hello, Pontus.
A great friend and a brilliant mind.
That's Pontus and Lars Everett,
Lars, yeah,
who
hey,
I
we
really
love
got
Lars.
started with. Lars, I kicked this ball off with, and what a tremendous family and a wealth of knowledge. They've been a big part of helping build Autovol, working with us, working with House of Design Robotics, and just wicked smart family and just a lovable group.
Yeah.
We love them.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Some really smart guys, and shout out to Carl as well.
Exactly.
All right, cool, love it. Well, thank you for that. Andy Baruch, hopefully I got your name right. Fantastic progress for the industry. Modular brings innovation to modular, and Autovol is bringing innovation to modular. Great job. Did I say that right? Say that.
Yes,
5
you
times.
did. Thank you. Thank you.
Judy Donnell. What's happening, Judy? That's awesome. Great diverse company. Judy Donnell is also with the NHB. She's chair of the associate members. I think she still is. That's 88,000 members.
Wow.
I believe, or at least from the time I talk, she's probably like, no, Dave. Hey, we're live, Judy. I can't take it back. All right, everybody. Listen, we want to thank everybody. Please hit that like and share button one more time. But before we wrap up, we always ask 2 things. What is your advice for young people out looking to come into the workforce? You know, whether it's on job sites or in manufacturing. And then I'm going to ask you both, what is your one thing? Like, what drives both of you each day, personally or professionally? Why don't you start off?
You know, I mean, innovation, right? And creating. My mind's more on the creative piece of the equation here. And what we're doing here is it's taking a lot of creativity, right? And, you know, on the product side, but also just in how we accomplish our goals. You know, what is it going to take to actually build this product more affordably and faster, right? So that's what drives me in the mornings. And, you know, and just the business in general. This industry needs to grow, and it deserves to grow in the especially in the multifamily community.
Well, that's it. I mean, we need houses. You know, the average person, you know, at $100,000 a year cannot afford a home these days.
Correct.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is insane.
Right?
It is insane.
And the way we've been doing it hasn't gotten us there.
So, Dave, what I would tell people out there, whether they're modular folks or not, I'm a modular guy, but regardless, I tell people to dream big, pursue what you love.
Yeah. Dream big, pursue what you love. I love that. Yeah. I love that. See that? I love
That's
that.
what we do.
Well, and I agree with that. So listen, if you're out there and you're a student, you're looking for work, there's plenty of opportunity. Go to job sites, stop at these manufacturing facilities. They would love to talk to you and love to interview you. We are growing, and as an industry, clearly we're taking leaps and bounds. Like I always say, we should be the Tesla, and Tesla should be charging our houses, right?
Yes.
Not the other way around. We should be
I agree.
charging cars. They should be charging our houses.
I agree.
All right, everybody. Lars Everett says technology and people in great combination. He must have heard us talking about him.
Yeah.
I hope he did.
Yeah.
That's a company that people can look forward to seeing grow and doing some amazing things.
100%.
Yeah.
We had Lars on the show not too long ago as
Terrific.
well. So go check that out on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch over 500 videos. I think we're at 500, where we're traveling the country doing similar things and interviewing all the experts out there. So please go and subscribe. Also hit that like and share button. Follow Autovol. Follow them on social media. Follow them what they're doing. Heck, I even heard they might be on TikTok soon. Who knows? All right. Well, listen, National Association of Home Builders Student Chapter, thank you for allowing us to bring this education to you and all the young people out there. We really want you to join our workforce. My name's Dave Cooper. We are live on location at Autovol in Idaho, Nampa, Idaho, I should say. I got to remember where I'm at day today.
Yeah.
Nampa, Idaho. So I think that's a wrap. So listen, everybody, we will see you on Friday, on BS Friday, with Mark Bare Naked Willie. We'll see you next time. Thanks again, National Association of Home Builders.
Thank you.
Thank you.